Work is to believe that everything that God has said in his word is true. I know that sounds simple on the surface, and you and I both have heard the soliloquy of people who give us this faith exercise, but faith is not a noun. Faith is a verb. It's an action word. And anybody can talk about believing, but life will present situations where you're going to have to put up or shut up. And so the real work of our faith is to believe in what God has placed his seal upon. That is to believe in Jesus. And there is a difference between church work and the work of the church. And a lot of people busy themselves with church work and think somehow or another that their wages ought to be God's favor for the busyness that they require. But Jesus tells this story about two sisters, Martha and Mary. And Martha worked, and Mary sat. And Martha got angry at Jesus and her sister because her sister was sitting, looking like she wasn't doing anything. And she says in her complaint, and I'm doing all the work. And there are people here today, you are angry at God and you want God to do something about that person who always wants to sit in the word because you're doing all the work. And you can't work effectively until you learn how to sit in his presence. Every now and then, all of us need to take time and sit in his presence to hear what he has to say. In fact, the vocabulary that he uses may be the same as ours, but the level of conversation is different. For instance, he talks to Nicodemus. And when he says born again, Nicodemus thinks that he's got to enter into his mother's womb again. And Jesus said, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, you've got to be born from above. You've already been born from below. But if you want a new experience in what my Father has for you, you've got to be born from above.